Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you an outgoing swap. Some of these items I have shared with you before, but I've altered them slightly to have them fit the theme of this swap, which is hosted by Beck, who is Beck's Crafting World 2 here on YouTube, and I will link her in the description box below. She is hosting a swap called Help Save Christmas, and there are quite a few requirements, so I'm not going to list them here. You can check out her video, which I'm going to tag, or you'll just see what I'm sending, and basically I've hit everyone. So anyway, the first thing is that everything was to be packaged in a box, either made by yourself or altered. I purchased this box at Home Goods. It's rather large. I'm gonna say it's like 12 by 9, and it's at least 6 inches deep. So I can't even get it in screen. It's huge, but there were, like I said, a lot of requirements. I guess the idea is to help build somebody's stash or Santa's stash, right? So I'm just going to start with whatever is on top in my box. This is not necessarily the order. So one of the requirements was to send tags. So I will be having a tutorial coming out real soon about how I do my flat decoupage with an iron. I did make decoupage wooden tags rather than the standard paper tags, using everything's made with the collection Simple Stories Hard Candy Christmas, which I'm really digging this season. And so this is what I created for my tag requirement. I think you just needed to make 2, but I put 4 on here because I just had fun. These wooden tags I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They were super inexpensive. They were already painted white. If you were to decoupage with a napkin, you would need to paint them white first, but I used paper. So it didn't matter if they were painted white, but that's just a tip. So I did decoupage the paper from the collection on both sides. I put a shaker on this top one. I added trim to all 4 of them, and just some little tidbits from the collection. And I left the backs blank so that the recipient of my swap could, put a to and from or whatever they decide to do. So these are what my tags look like. Oh, what fun. And then this one, I made a little rosette, popped the Santa up. Here comes Santa Claus. So that's my tag requirement, my wooden tag. So I am going to be having a tutorial on how to do that coming up real soon. The next requirement that I'm pulling out here is a sequin mix, which they called reindeer food, which I thought was really cute. And you need to have a decorative spoon. I just decorated a scoop that I picked up in the baking section at Hobby Lobby. I just put a little dangle on it, nothing fancy. But I have a mix in here that matches this Hard Candy Christmas, and it's super cute. I put it in this KS Craft box that I created with the collection, and put some stickers fa la la on that. So that's my sequin mix. Next, you needed to have a set of bows. So I made three bows using the collection. I'm not going to take anything out of the cellophane. I apologize, but it did take me a long time to pack this up. And then I realized I didn't tape or photograph anything, so here we are. So I just made 3 bows. I think it could be used with a lot of collections. Left the background white and used a rolled flower as the center, so they can be further zhuzhed by the recipient if they so desire. And I did back it on a piece of plain cardstock that I embossed with a brick pattern, and used the new KS Craft Bow bag topper on it, since we're sending those. The next requirement was to send a trim sample. Well, here, you're going to have 3 things kind of all at once, but I'll share these. So I was very excited about the way I decided to do my trim sample using this bow bag topper, which I know you've probably already seen, but you haven't seen this. This is the way I am gifting my trim sample. I decided to take some spools small spools, put them on a pipe cleaner, and then just kind of twist it into the shape of a wreath. And I put these wooden beads in between and put a sample of ribbon on each one of them. And I am obsessed with this. Love this, how this turned out. It's pretty on both sides, but it's like a little wreath for Christmas, and that's your trim sample. So, you know, rather than just sticking them on a card as I usually do, I was trying to think outside the box. And again, I'm gifting it on a piece of cardstock that I embossed with the brick pattern. Another requirement for the swap was to send 4 North Pole characters, you know, paper pieced characters, like as embellishments, flat embellishments, whatever. Just having a little trouble here. I apologize for the crinkling. So my first 2, I made brother and sister, or whatever, friends, penguins. I did diamond dot her pretty little scarf, gave her a tiny bow, and gave him a winter hat, which can be removed. It is not glued on there, it's just stuck on there. So that's one set of my North Pole friends. And then the other is the Scrap Diva elf embellishment. I made the larger and the smaller. I think these are so stinking cute. I did use fun fur for his hat, and I used red felt for his hat. So those are my 4 North Pole characters and my trim sample. And I'm gifting that all, kind of all tied together, or all stapled together, I should say, with this bag topper. So maybe I'll get some packaging ideas or something out of this. I don't know. Another was to send a beaded pen. This is like a furry pen. I might be able to get this open. No, I'm not gonna be able to get it out without trashing it. Just a basic beaded pen, and I did put a little dangle on the top. It's a gingerbread boy and a jingle bell, and just use some like peppermint swirl and red and green beads, bubblegum beads. So that's my beaded pen. I believe that was a requirement. Another requirement was to send a loaded hot cocoa pouch. So I am gifting a hot cocoa pouch that I've shared before. That's the KS Craft hot cocoa pouch. I put 2 types of hot cocoa, Starbucks hot cocoa in there. One is peppermint and the other's double chocolate. As a bonus, they're also getting a gingerbread man tassel. And since I couldn't fit all the accoutrements in there, I'm also gifting, and this is going to double as my store-bought gift, this adorable marshmallow mug, which I got at Target. And they got a fluffy gingerbread boy, a couple of candy canes, 2 marshmallows that have characters on them. You can't see it because of the way I packaged it. My apologies. And then 2 stirrers, 1 mini marshmallow and 1 peppermint. And there's 2 wooden striped spoons in there too. So that's my hot cocoa requirement. They're fulfilled. And then last but not least, we had to send a clipboard, an altered clipboard with a dangle element on it. We all know how much I love to do those. But anyway, I did, again, my decoupaging. I took this apart, this clipboard. This is just a basic clipboard from like Staples or someplace. I don't know, like a wooden, you know, that particle board clipboard. And it has screws in it, so you can take this off. And then I flat iron decoupaged on some of the paper from the collection on both sides, and I'm keeping this as flat as possible. I did not use anything puffy on it because it is a clipboard. We need to be able to write on it if we're going to make it user-friendly. So I did use a flat sticker and then just put a tiny bit of trim down at the bottom. I inked the edges with red, and I made a dangle-ish. I did the best I could, but I like it. I think it turned out okay. It has a jingle bell on the bottom. I probably should have put the peppermint at the bottom, but I think it looks good. And I just tied it on with a piece of ribbon. So I was hoping to be able to get all of my stuff on the clipboard, but as usual, you know, my best laid plans don't usually seem to come to fruition. Everything was too fluffy and fat. Another requirement was a package of stickers, so I'm sending these house stickers from Hobby Lobby. And she wanted us to send in naughty or nice list, I think, and I don't have a laminator, but I'm pretty good with the computer, so I printed out a couple of official naughty notices and nice notices. So anyway, they're getting those instead of the list. I think it's like a certificate. I thought that was cute. I'm just putting that in a little wax bag on the clipboard. Okay, so I did not make two. It was a, you know, make one or make two. I made one. That's all I had time for. And I usually like to give something to the swap host. And I love Beck. She's the best. I put a couple of things together for her, and I'll let her open them on her own, but I did want to share one thing I made for her following a fabulous tutorial by a creator here on YouTube whose name I may be pronouncing wrong, and I apologize if I am. I'm going to link the video I used down below, and the channel's name is Creating with Jovi. It could be Hovey, but I think it's Jovi. Anyway, so she did this salt and pepper shaker tassel tutorial, and you know I love tassels, so I made one. I put my own spin on it. I added beads to the top and a little dangle that says Mary and Joy, and it just has some of the trims from my stash in it. So this is for Beck, so she can hang this on her tree or from a stocking or whatever. So that's everything that I'm sending. And if you get the opportunity, I suggest you go over and check out Beck's channel for all of the reveals. There's some really great creators in this swap, and she's doing a fantastic job revealing all of them. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and all that good stuff, and have a crafty day.